I think I'm gonna like label this culture shocks that my ex-boyfriend experienced. I don't know. I have like a bad time to be making this video, but interesting to talk about. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Montana and I studied abroad in Germany a couple of times. I make videos now on Germany versus the United States. And today I'm back with a video for you all. It's a little outdated because the last time I was long-term in Germany was last summer, but I've got a bunch of ideas stored on my phone. And today is all of the things that my boyfriend at the time found funny or was in love with in Germany. I don't know how I'm gonna condense that title down for the actual video, but I've got a pretty funny list. And we spent basically all of last July in Leipzig and then sort of traveling all over Germany because that was the infamous €9 ticket summer. I had class in the morning and then in the afternoon free. So either me and my classmates or my boyfriend at the time and I, we would go to like Halle, Saal, Chemnitz, all Dresden, the most random cities, explore them and see what they were like. And along the way, I wrote down some funny observations from a person who had not spent that much time in Germany before. The first one that he was obsessed with was us eating bread all day, and quite frankly how cheap and amazing the bread is, because we were balling on a budget. We were not trying to spend a lot of money, so we would go into like Aldi, Lidl, Rewe, whichever grocery store there was, Edeka, and just get the bread, which was like 50 cents or like €1 for one of those sort of pizza looking things. I know it was very unhealthy, but they were so delicious and a really cheap meal, which now compared to like prices in the United States are fast food. Even a hamburger from McDonald's costs more than $1 now. I think the majority of like sort of quick food is at least $4 or $5. So to get just bread rolls for 50 cents and eat that, and maybe get some sandwich meat was really crazy. The other thing that's grocery store related he was obsessed with was those coffees. They are so random. The coffees at Edeka or any grocery store honestly had them in a little cardboard sort of container that you can eventually recycle, and you just like pop the lid off that's like plastic and then you just drink the coffee straight from there, full of sugar, super unhealthy. But I think our closest equivalent are these glass Starbucks sort of cold Frappuccino things, which are easily $4 or $5 now. And those little coffee cups were like €1. The next thing isn't as much a love, but more of like a culture shock. We spent the majority of the time in Leipzig and traveling up in sort of the eastern part of Germany, but then we ended up going down to the south as well because I wanted to show him Passau and where I went to high school and just sort of southern living. And we stayed with a friend who is from Regensburg, and we went out one night for some like traditional Bavarian food, Rindfleisch, or the like Knocks, something with an X. Like that big pork like knuckle, and then it comes with like Spätzle, and it comes with, or like Knödel, all of that stuff, like really traditional Bavarian food. And I think I got like Käsespätzle or something more normal, but it came out and this was like a nicer meal, and he had to eat it, but he did not like it. And it was a big plate of food. It was so much food. I think I got the Kinder portion because I knew that there was no way I was gonna finish the massive adult one. But a friend who we were staying with got like the adult portion, and so my boyfriend at the time was like, oh, like I've got to get the adult portion too. And let's just say that was a mistake. Like it was way too much food. I think we may have taken it home and ate it the next day, but Bavarian food was not his favorite. I forgot to include one of the funniest ones, so I'm just gonna shove it in the middle of the video. But a lot of the stores at the time in the summer were really looking for employees, so they would post posters up on the walls, and all of them would say "Wir suchen dich" or "We're looking for you." But when you read it as an American, it can kind of come across as something a little more dirty, and every time we would read that, he would have to make a comment about it. Other Americans would catch on to the joke as well. So I can put one of those posters in. Maybe you can assume what he was thinking when he read it. If not, it doesn't matter that much. But it was really funny because when I tell you that all of the companies were looking to hire employees, like these posters were everywhere during the summer. But another thing that was a big culture shock was just clubbing and bar scene when you're under 21. I think that any American would probably tell you this, but when you go to Europe and suddenly anyone can drink, when you're like 18 or 19, it's just a really big culture shock, especially because it's so strict in a lot of the cities in the United States. Sometimes you can get into bars when you're 18 but not drink, but that's really not the norm. I think it was funny for him because he had never been to sort of a real club like in Germany and in Leipzig, and even then it wasn't like a Berlin crazy club. It was just these small clubs in Leipzig which were full of like students and people who were maybe like 16 to 20. We would go with some of the people from my program, and also I had a German friend from Passau living in Leipzig, so I would sometimes force her to come with us. Next one is how easy it was to travel around in Germany. He didn't realize that everything is in English. It's so easy to get from the airport to the city center and take public transportation everywhere and figure out. He actually flew into Berlin and then had to train from Berlin to Leipzig, and then I picked him up at the Leipzig Hauptbahnhof. All of that he was able to navigate on his own. I don't even think he had his data turned on. He just did it through like signs and figuring out when everything left. Honestly, after traveling through so many countries this past semester while I was abroad, I realized that Germany definitely is one of the most organized places for travel. Hopefully these were interesting. We had a really good time in Germany and I can't wait to go back sometime soon. I feel like my next stint will probably be next May. So about a whole year from now, which is pretty sad. I'm gonna try to plan something soon, and I'm also trying to make some more videos for you guys based on all of these ideas. Thank you so much for watching this video. Bleibt gesund, bis nächstes Mal und tschüss!